Today, on the mound for today, will be number 9, Peyton Gardner. Your starting lineup starting at third base will be Caden Lowe. Your shortstop is Caden Hines. Second baseman, Carson Cohen. First baseman is Justin Feemster. Your catcher, Cooper Ridgway. Starting in left field will be Cameron Crislip. Your center fielder will be Hudson Bogus. And in right field will be Bryce Neal. Last meeting at Charmco between these two teams, Mavericks came away, just chipped away a little bit every inning. They came away with 10-0 victory over the Cavaliers. And the pitcher for that game for the Mavericks was Carson Cohen. Dealt a very, very good game, and Cooper Ridgway was your catcher. He called a good game from behind the plate. So we're ready to begin. Seth Meadows will be your man behind the plate, and then his brother Meadows will be out in the field today. And starting off for the Greenbrier West Cavaliers will be number 3, Braden McClung. Always a tough out, one of the leading hitters in the area. Very, very good hitter. Always puts the bat on the ball. So we're ready to begin. And Peyton Gardner winds up. First pitch of the game is a line drive. It's going to be to Hudson Bogus. He corrals it, and that'll be out number 1. Those are always nice to have. 1 pitch outs. That limits your pitch count always. So those are always nice. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Up to bat now for the Cavaliers will be your catcher, David Lester. That pitch is a ball. Peyton Gardner lines it up. Second pitch, a little bit high and outside. That'll be ball 2, falling behind. Always nice to get ahead of the count right here. So now you're in the hitter's favor right now as your batter, Lester. Had a very good game up at Charmco. Gardner from the windup delivers. Got that pitch good on 2-0. Always definitely don't want to go down to a 3-0 count. So your count is 2-1. 1 out. Your first pitch of the game was a fly ball to the center fielder, Hudson Bogus. Gardner delivers. Swing and a miss. A little bit behind that and looked like a little undecided. You know if it's going to be almost kind of guessing maybe it's going to be a curveball. But battle back by Gardner. 2-2 count. 1 out. We're in the top of the first inning here at Linside. Greenbrier West Cavaliers and the James Monroe Mavericks. Your 2-2 pitch. It swung on and missed. Gardner with his first strikeout of the game. So he fell down 2-0 and battled back with 3 consecutive strikes. Looked like tried to work that outside corner and did to perfection. We got 2 outs in the top of the first. Cole Vandal up to bat now. Big target to throw at, about 6'4". Big kid playing first base today. Gardner hits the outside part of the plate, gets a strike call from umpire. Your 0-1 pitch went upstairs a little bit, and he got the swing and strike. And it's 0-2, and we got 2 outs. Number 7, Vandal, pitched a little bit yesterday along with McClung at Midland Trail. Your 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Climbed the ladder a little bit and couldn't catch up. So that's a great start for number 9, Peyton Gardner. As we go into the bottom of the first, your score 0-0. Okay, we're back here at Linside. Peyton Gardner to perfection in that first inning. 9 pitches and got out with 2 strikeouts and 1 flyout to center fielder Hudson Bogus on the first pitch of the game. So Hudson will be leading off for the Mavericks. He's wearing number 8, playing center field. On the mound for the Cavaliers, we saw him last time at Charmco, will be number 8, Hayden Ridgway. Hudson's done a pretty good job all season long being the leadoff man of finding the way on base. First pitch of the game is a little high and outside. That'll be ball 1. Always got a pretty good eye, Hudson does. His team so far all season long has done a pretty good job, you know, finding the ball, finding the bat. 1-0 count, a little low and inside. So Hudson's in favor of the count. 2 balls, no strikes. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Cavaliers already came to bat, 3 up, 3 down. Mavericks trying to get something started here early in the contest. 2-0 count, fouled off to the backstop. That'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. That's definitely a pitcher's count, always a 3-0 or 2-0 count. You're always looking for something that you can definitely put in play. Third baseman cheating up just a little bit, expecting maybe a bunt from Hudson, but I think Hudson's going to be swinging away. The 2-1 count is on the outside corner, and that makes your count 2-2. So after Ridgway falls down 2-0, he battles back and gets it even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bogus digs in. Your pitch is on the inside corner, and he caught looking on the inside corner. It looked like a little, maybe broke in to him just a little bit. So down on strikes goes Bogus, and that'll be 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. So coming up to bat now will be your catcher, number 11, Cooper Ridgway. Had a good season thus far, batting over 400. First pitch to him is a strike. Cooper turned around, didn't necessarily agree with that. Looked like could have been a little outside, but Ridgway gets the call. 0-1 pitch. Cooper a little bit early on that one. A little bit different. Yesterday we're facing the kid from Princeton throwing about 83 to 85, and then you come to today, a guy throwing around 68 to 70 mile an hour. So a whole lot of difference. These guys got to adjust the pitching speed. Ridgway heading to count 0-2. Here's the pitch. It's going to be deep in the hole. McClung's got it. He's going to fire it over, and Ridgway's going to barely beat it out. That was a great play by McClung deep in the hole. But Cooper Ridgway beats it out down the line, so that'll go down as an infield single. So we got 1 out, 1 man on. Leading hitter for the Mavericks this year, number 9. Your pitcher today is Peyton Gardner, batting right at 500 on the season, couple of home runs. He digs in, got a real wide stance. I don't know if you can see it out there, but he's got it really stretched out in that batter's box. Ridgway, good lead. First pitch is fouled off to the right side. Little off-speed pitch there by Ridgway. Gets ahead in the count. No balls, 1 strike. Cooper gets the lead off first base, pretty good lead. Ridgway checks him over his shoulder. He's going on the pitch, swing, and a foul ball. That was a hit and run situation right there. He had a good pitch to hit and just barely missed it. And Gardner falls in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. No score here in Linside, 0-0. Gardner pitched a great first inning, got him up, 3 down. Ridgway looks over his shoulder. The 0-2 pitch is high and inside. That takes a count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little bit of a mixture in age out there for the Cavaliers. They're top to bottom. You got sophomores, juniors, seniors all the way through the board. So they're foul ball again on the 1-2 pitch, but they're just trying to find You know who they got, best players, you know, probably what you're looking at. Brady McClung at shortstop, Cole Vandal, and your catchers, one of your top three for the Cavaliers, all seniors. Ridgeway checking, got a pretty good lead. Gardner digs in on the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be out of play, foul ball down the first base side. That keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. We got 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Ridgeway got a pitch on the inside corner to Hudson Balgus. Got him looking. Got the strikeout. Ridgeway gets his lead. Gardner digs in, gets set. Ridgeway checking over both shoulders. Here's the pitch. Little high and outside. That takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big hit right here. He likes to hit the ball to the right side. You know, right side. He's been pulling the ball a little bit, but I think his best place to hit it a lot of times is over the top of the second baseman. A big gap over in right center if he can find it. Here's the 3-2 pitch, or 2-2 pitch, and it's going to be low, bounces off the chest, and Ridgeway is going to advance on the wild pitch. That takes the count to full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Peyton Gardner has battled back here after being down 0-2 in the count. It's a full count. Ridgeway now at second base with the lead. Brady McClung checking him. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Here's going to be a deep fly ball to left center, and that's going to be down in the gap. Ridgeway's going to score. Peyton Gardner is going to have a stand-up double, and he did his job right there as Ridgeway got to second base on the wild pitch. Peyton Gardner drives him in with a deep fly ball to left center, and the Mavericks take the early lead 1-0. That was a great at-bat that time by Gardner as he was down in the count and battled back and won that battle right there with a deep fly ball to left field. And now up the bat, starting shortstop today, number 3, Caden Hines. So hopefully he can follow suit because they're definitely playing him to pull the ball because the center fielder has moved all the way over to left center, and the left fielder is playing almost down the line. Caden Hines digs in, gets a fastball he could have handled right there, and he's going to foul it off. Ridgeway works ahead in the count, 0 balls and 1 strike. Ridgeway looks in, gets his sign. Peyton Gardner with the lead. McClung behind him, trying to hold him close. 0-1 pitch. He is outside. That takes a count to 1 ball and 1 strike. We have 1 out. Again, Gardner with a deep fly ball to left field. Driving in Cooper Ridgeway. Your 1-1 count. Caden Hines digs in. And he gets the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So again, Ridgeway getting ahead of the hitters. So James Rose is going to have to, be ready to hit the ball because he's definitely throwing strikes. Ridgeway with a pitch. Here's a base hit. It's going to be to the left fielder. He holds up Gardner. So Hines with a single to left field. Gardner advances to third base. So now we're in really good position here as Caden Lowe comes up the bat. Caden Lowe today playing third base. He pitched a great game the other night. If anybody had a chance to listen to it or see some of the stats or anything like that against Tazewell, Tazewell's always been a powerhouse team. The night before they had 16 total hits. Caden Lowe held them to 2 hits. What a gem he threw the other night at Bowen Field. He's up the bat with runners on the corner. First pitch is a little tall. It'll be 1 ball, no strikes. Gardner at third, Hines at first. This is normally a running situation. Anytime you got first and third, but you don't want to get picked off from the fake to third first. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a little high, and that's going to be a stolen base by Hines as it has no throw from the catcher. So now Caden Lowe needs to definitely have something here to the right side, because you don't want to hit in front of the runners, hit something behind the runners, so something to the right side because, man, they are giving all day everything out there in right center field because there is nobody out there. Caden Lowe ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch, and that's in the dirt. That's going to take the count to 3 balls and no strikes. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. So Ridgeway on the first few batters got ahead of the count. Now he's down 3 balls, no strikes. He might be taking this pitch, and it's low anyway. So it'll be ball 4. So now Justin Feimster definitely, looking for something to hit on this first pitch. That was 4 straight balls, but Ridgeway's going to try to battle back right here and definitely find a strike zone. So Justin needs to be ready to hit this first pitch right here. Bases loaded. We got 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Corners are playing in. Middle infield playing double play dip. First pitch, a little low. That's 5 straight balls thrown by Ridgeway. That'll be 1 ball and no strikes. Big leads all around. Second pitch is down, a little low. 6 in a row thrown for balls by Ridgeway. That takes the count to 2 balls and no strikes. And just to our left from up here in the booth, we do have a softball game going on, so if you want to check that game out on Greenbrier Valley Channel, do so. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That pitch is right down the middle, and Justin was taken all the way. That was probably pretty good take right there. 6 straight, get your speed down. Gardner on third, Hines on second. Low on first, bases loaded, 1 out. Here's a pitch. Another pitch, low off speed, right down the middle, and that's going to take the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and we got 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Greenbrier West went 3 up, 3 down in their half of the first. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and it's going to be fouled off. That was a little high. Could have been a strike call, but that was a good job that time by Justin to fight that one off, because I've always said don't ever leave that in the umpire's hands. If you think it's anywhere close, be swinging. So good job that time by Feimster. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ridgeway looks in, gets his sign. Runners take the lead. Here's a pitch. It's going to be a soft ground ball to third base. He's going to have to throw it to first base. That was basically his only play. That was probably the smartest thing he could have done, because Gardner was already home, and Hines advanced to third in behind him. So Justin did his job, put the ball in play. That takes your score to 2-0. So that's an RBI for number 7, Justin Feimster, playing first base today. That takes your score to 2-0, and that'll be 2 outs. Hines on third. Caden Lowe on second base. Pitches in the dirt. Up the bat now is number 10, playing right field. Bryce Neal. Bryce come up last night, I think it was the 5th inning. Pitcher for Princeton had a no-hitter going, and Bryce Neal broke that no-hitter with a base hit right up the middle. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that could have been a little bit low. That's a pretty big target in there. You're talking about Bryce Neal being about 6'4", close to 6'5". But that takes the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first. Mavericks up 2-0. Here's the pitch. Little off speed right there. And Bryce Neal swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, Mavericks got on the board with a deep fly ball from Peyton Gardner. He got a double. Scoring Cooper Ridgeway. Ball's in the dirt. And Bryce Neal is going to swing and miss. Ball's in the dirt, and it's going to be out number 3. But the Mavericks come in, get a couple in the inning, and they lead it 2-0 after 1. back. Greenbrier Valley Channel. What a privilege it is to stand up here in the press box, and we got a couple of helpers up here doing the camera and all the stuff. All I got to do is run my mouth the whole game. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. Got a softball game going over here. What a perfect day for baseball and softball. Best weather we've had thus far all year long. Mavericks come in and got two to help out Peyton Gardner in that inning. So we're starting the top of the second. First pitch from Gardner is low and outside. To your fourth place batter is Scott McClung. He's playing third base today, and Gardner falls down. 1 ball and no strikes. That first inning had 1 fly ball to center fielder Bogus and then 2 strikeouts. 1-0 pitch. Catches a corner on the outside. That takes your count to 1 ball and 1 strike. McClung looks, pitches outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Gardner looks in, gets a sign. Let me catcher Cooper Ridgway, senior. Here's a pitch. That one, 2, is going to be low and outside. 3 balls. 3 balls and 1 strike. We're in the top of the second inning. Greenbrier West Cavaliers at the bat. McClung with a 3-1 pitch. That's going to be low. That's going to be ball 4. And your leadoff batter is on. Up to bat now is your pitcher. Batting 5th is Hayden Ridgway. McClung, pretty good lead on first base. Gardner gives him a look. He's going to fire it to home. Low and outside again. And it's going to be ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Greenbrier West right now being very patient at the plate, not helping out. Gardner with the pitches. McClung gets his lead. Gardner checks him out. Pretty close play. Pretty good play. Keep him honest over there. That was a big lead. Number 8, Ridgway, your pitcher today. He's at bat. He's ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Gardner delivers. That's going to be low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. You hear McClung be patient in there. You know he's right now having a hard time finding the zone. The 2-0 pitch from Gardner is going to be outside again. That's going to be 3 balls and no strikes. So after a 9-pitch first inning, right now he's going to be throwing pitch number 8 of the inning, and we have no outs and a 3-0 count to Ridgway. Gardner looks in, gets a sign. Checks out the runner, McClung. Comes up with the delivery. Catches the outside corner. That's going to be strike 1. So Ridgway still ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. And a wild throw that time by Gardner as McClung's going to advance to second base with no play. Just a hard ball for Justin to handle over at first base. Now the runner moves into scoring position on 3 balls and 1 strike. And I don't know if anybody can see this, but I've never seen this before. Is the hitters wearing work gloves as batting gloves, something unique I've never seen, and I'm sure a lot of people out there have never seen it before. I'd like to ask, because I guarantee he's got some good grip with them leather work gloves. Gardner on the 3-1 pitch gets a strike. So now we're full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. McClung advances to second on the wild throw to first. Gardner delivers, and that's high and outside, so he's back-to-back walks. And if he keeps digging a hole, he's going to be down the ground level out there. Keeps digging a hole. best thing to do in that situation a lot of times is move your back foot on the rubber and not step in the same place all the time. So Cavaliers with both runners on, first and second. And we're going to look for a bunt, and he did get a foul ball. So Gardner gets a strike called. McClung at second. Ridgeway at first. Number 18 is your batter. Chance Hanna, wearing number 18. He's your left fielder today. He's down in the count. No balls, one strike. Here's a pitch. Squares around the bunt. And we're going to have another foul ball. So Gardner does his job, gets 2 foul balls. He's ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Mavericks lead it 2-0 after the first inning. Gardner looking for a big timeout right here. We got 2 on and no outs. Gardner comes set, delivers. A little high. A little high that time, so we've got 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gardner comes set. Hanna looking for the pitch. Here's the pitch. A little low, and he does foul it off. Does his job. Battles the pitcher. Gardner. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're at James Monroe High School in inside West Virginia, home of the Mavericks. Today on the Greenbrier Valley Channel. Does a great job broadcasting all the sports down here. Couldn't thank them enough. Every time there's a game going on, seems like they're always here broadcasting, so we appreciate that. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be strike number 3 as Gardner gets him looking. Looked like Hanna was kind of crowding the plate a little bit, and Gardner, I think, found the inside corner. 4th strikeout, number 3 on the day for Gardner. Big needed out right there. He's got 1 out here in the second inning. Mavericks still up 2-0. Up the bat now is Landon McClung. He's playing second base today. 3 McClungs in the lineup for West. Here's a bunt. And there's nobody at first base. Nobody covering first base. There was a mishap right there, and then all the coverage because that was not done. That was not done correctly because the second baseman should have been covering. Shortstop should have been covering second. Caden Lowe was covering third because Feimster left. So now you got bases loaded for the Cavaliers with 1 out. Gardner will go from the windup this time up the bat. Is number 4, Landon. Excuse me, number 4, Levi Ramsey, center fielder. And we got a strike call. It'll be no balls and 1 strike. Good job by Peyton working head in the count. Gardner gets his sign from Ridgeway. We got a suicide squeeze. There's a lot of action right there. That was a suicide squeeze, worked to perfection that time by the Cavaliers. And we got timeout on the field because we're just throwing the ball around, and we got to. So we'll go. Cooper Ridgeway's going to get everybody together because, man, that was just bunt coverage right there. We have not done good on bunt coverage so far. 2 consecutive bunts. Good job that time by Levi Ramsey of laying the bunt down. That was a suicide squeeze, and what that is, on the pitch, the runner from third base just takes off, and if the batter does not hit the ball, it's pretty much an automatic out because all Cooper has to do is just catch it and tag. So that takes the score to 2-2. That takes the score to 2-1 in favor of the Mavericks. We still got 1 out in our first inning on the strikeout. Up the bat now will be number 16, Dakota Hamrick. Bases loaded. Ridgeway at third. McClung at second. I want to just lay the bunt down to Ramsey. He's at first base. Number 16 is your batter. Got a strike call. That's on Hamrick. He's your DH today. He's DHing for Bradley Hodge. No balls, one strike. Gardner going from a stretch this time. Comes up, fires it, another bunt, and that's another, lays it down. That's another great bunt that time by the Cavaliers as they get the run in. That takes the score to 2-2. 3 consecutive batters, 3 consecutive bunts. So we've got 2 outs, bases loaded, and we're back to the top of the order. I'm sorry, runners on second, third, as McClung comes up back to the top of the order. First inning, he hits a deep fly ball to Hudson Bogus. So Matt McClung playing a little small ball, just doing everything he can to muster some runs up, and he did just that. Score is 2-2. Here's the pitch from Gardner. Pitch finds the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Here's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Gardner's going to flip it over underhanded to Feimster, and that'll do it. But the Cavaliers come in, and they tied up on a lot of small ball. You know, Peyton Gardner had a couple walks, put some guys on, and they did their job, bunting them over, bunting them in, and they tie the score in the bottom of the – we're moving to the bottom of the second. Your score, Greenbrier West 2, Mavericks 2. Back here to the inside back on the Greenbrier Valley channel. Home of the James Monroe Mavericks. Mavericks come in the bottom of the first. They grab 2 runs and led it 2-0, but the Greenbrier West come in, and they did their job putting 7 guys at the plate. They tied the score 2-2 in the top of the second. And we're just waiting on the left fielder. Getting out on the field a little slow. Up the bat for the Mavericks will be number 12, Cameron Crislip. He's playing left field today. On the bump for the Greenbrier West Cavaliers is number 8, Hunter Ridgeway. Greenbrier West, not sure how deep they are in pitching because they used their top 2 pitchers yesterday at Midland Trail. And Hunter Ridgeway, I think, threw about 90 or 95 last time we played at Charmco, so I'm not sure how deep they are at the pitching position. But first pitch to Chris is high. That'll be ball 1. 2-2 into the bottom of the second inning. And your pitch, it's the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris, the junior, playing left field. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Definitely want to get him on the base because he's got speed enough to, disrupt a lot on the base pass. So anything you can do to get on base is a plus for number 12, Crislip. Ridgeway gets his sign. The 2-1 pitch It is going to be a little bit outside. That's going to be 3 balls and 1 strike. No outs. We're in the bottom of the second here at James Monroe High School. We're knotted at 2. 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle, and Chrislop swings through it. That takes the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ridgeway gets his sign from his catcher, Lester. Here's the pitch, fouls that off. Took a little bit off of that one. Chrislop a little bit out in front, but did a good job of fighting that off. Stays alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the delivery, and that's going to be high. That's going to be ball 4, so Chrislop exactly what we needed. Leadoff runner draws a walk, so we got a little bit of speed on the base path. Coming up the bat will be your starting second baseman today, Carson Cohen. He pitched the last time at Greenbrier West, pitched a heck of a game, getting a 10-0 victory. He came in yesterday. Caden and Carson pitched yesterday at Princeton, excuse me. Chrislop with a pretty good lead. Cohen up to bat. He steps out of the box, getting the sign from Tom Gardner. He's the third base coach. Cohen. He's going to square around, pulls it back. Chrislop is up, so that's good. So you get the stolen base with the ball, so that's definitely what you want right there. 1 ball, no strikes. Chrislop moves into scoring position down to second base. Cohen definitely looking for a hit today. He struggled a little bit yesterday. He knows that. Got to fix a few things. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a little high. Hard to throw to him. He's a little target in there to throw at. But he's ahead in the count. Definitely a hitter's count right here. 2 balls and no strike. 2 balls, no strikes. Number 16, Carson Cohen in at the bat. Chrislop at second. Has his lead. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Squared around the bunt. And he's ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. So if you get a walk right here, it brings up your top of the lineup. And runners on first and second. As you look at Carson, I don't know if you can see right there, but he is standing right up on the plate. And that is hard to pitch to. Here's a fly ball. Deep fly ball, 3-0 count. Cohen swinging away. Flies out to the center fielder. That's Levi Ramsey. And Chrislop has to retreat to second base. We got 1 out, 1 on. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Number 8 coming to bat is Hudson Bogus. Was the victim of a strikeout in the first inning. Got caught looking on the inside corner. So he digs in. Chrislop gets his lead. Here's the pitch, low in the dirt, and that's going to bounce away from the catcher. So Chrislop moves into scoring position on the wild pitch. As Ridgeway slowly walks back to the mound. Tom giving a little bit of instructions to Chrislop here at third base. Hard to steal here at James Monroe. The backstop's not really deep, but certain situations you can definitely get down the line. Bogus on the 1-0 count. He's going to get hit in the back. I think that's about the 6th, maybe the 6th or 7th time this year he's been hit. Been hit in the ear on the first pitch. Here at home one time, got hit right in the ear hole. First at bat yesterday, he got hit by an 85-mile-an-hour fastball right in the back. So he's got some bumps and bruises, and you can tell he don't have a lot of cushion. So those definitely hurt every time he gets hit. So now you definitely got a lot of speed on the base. You've got probably 2 fastest runners on the team, Chrislop at third and Bogus at first. Cooper Ridgeway in at the bat. Senior catcher, been starting at catcher since his freshman year, 4 years in a row. Here's the pitch. It's going to be high. And Hudson Bogus will get down to second base, and now base hit potentially could bring in 2 runs. Ridgeway heading the count. 1 ball and no strikes. We have 1 out. Ridgeway's going to go from the windup. Ridgeway gets set. Here's the pitch. That one's high and outside. That's going to be ball 2, so this is definitely in favor of Ridgeway right here. Cooper Ridgeway, that is. At bat, ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. We have 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Score tied at 2. Hunter Ridgeway, pitcher, goes back to the stretch. That ball's inside. 3 balls and no strikes. I think Tom lets him swing away if they like something. He gives them one. You know, you're just looking for 1 pitch. You don't want to change your eye level. You don't want to look down. You don't want to look up. Keep your eye level the same. Here's the pitch. That pitch catches the inside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike. That's the thing about baseball. If you don't like that one, you still got 2 more. Cooper back in the box. Hunter Ridgeway looks in, gets his sign from Lester. And here's the pitch. There's a ground ball. And that's – and if Cameron would have just went and not hesitated, he would have made it. But he froze because he didn't know if the pitcher's called it, and he had time enough to get him out. So that'll be your second out as Ridgeway grounds into the 1-2 force play. Hudson Bogus moves up to third base on the ground out. Ridgeway at first. Up to bat is Peyton Gardner. Got a double in the first inning, an RBI driving in Cooper. He's back in the box. Hunter Ridgeway comes set. Here's the pitch. Going to be high. No throw. Nobody even covering second base. So Cooper easily advances to second base. Now base hit again. Could bring in 2 runs. So something's got to be in the outfield on the grass. 1 ball, no strikes. Score tied 2-2. Hunter Ridgeway gets a sign. Here's the pitch. That must have been a little bit inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Hunter Ridgeway on the mound. Comes set. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one's low and outside. So, again, he's went 3-0 count to 3 guys in this inning. So, we'll see what happens on this 3-0 pitch. Something's got to be up that you can hit. Don't look down. Again, keep your eye level the same. Don't change your eye level for the pitcher and help him out. Cooper just missed that one. He had a good pitch to hit and just barely missed it. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's going to be a foul ball down the right field side, and that's going to go out of play. And that takes your count to 3 balls and 1 strike. We have 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the second. We're tied at 2. Bogus at third. Cooper Ridgeway at second base with a huge lead. So base hit's definitely going to bring him in. Here's the pitch. And we got a swing and a miss. And Hunter Ridgeway battles back. Brings the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Number 9, your pitcher today, Peyton Gardner in the box. Ridgeway comes set. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And a little bit off speed, and Peyton Gardner did exactly what you got to do. If you don't like it, just fouled off. You got another pitch coming. So Ridgeway will go back to the mound. Good pitch that time on a 3-2 count by Ridgeway. Gardner back in the box. And here's a 3-2 delivery. And it's going to be a swing and a miss. So we definitely missed our opportunities that inning right there. No runs that inning, and we keep the score to 2-2, and we're moving to the top of the third inning. And we're back on the air here on the Greenbrier Valley channel. We're at home of the James Monroe Mavericks. Moving to the top of the third, your score, Greenbrier West 2, James Monroe 2. We had our opportunities in the bottom of the second inning right there and come away with no runs. And the first pitch of the third inning is low, ball one. Up the bat is David Lester, your catcher. Wearing number 1, he's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Your 1-0 pitch is going to be fouled off, back to the backstop. That puts your count 1 ball, 1 strike. Peyton had a little bit of struggle in that second inning, finding the strike zone. Got a couple walks, and then they just played a little bit of small ball, butting everybody over, and ended up coming back and tying the score 2-2. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a pop out to the shortstop, Caden Hines, and that'll be out number 1 for the Mavericks. 1 out here in the top of the third. Up the bat will be coming your first baseman wearing number 7, Cole Vandal. He's a strikeout victim in that first inning. Big target in there to throw at. You got to keep something down. Don't want to catch it up there around the belt because that's his power. Garnier with the pitch. Ball 1. A little high and outside. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Vandal. And that one's going to be a little bit low. And that's going to be fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. And we have 1 out. And we're in the top of the third inning. Garnier looks in, gets a sign from Ridgeway. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be a little side arm slider. When he gets that dialed in, it is hard to pick up coming out of his arm because he gets down about waist level and throws that thing, and it curves in there about 7 or 8 inches. And here's the same pitch again, and Vandal chases it well out of the zone, and that's his second strikeout of the day, and that's Gardner's fourth strikeout of the day, and that'll be out number 2 in the top of the third. Up the bat is your third baseman, Scott McClung, and he takes the first pitch swinging, and that'll be strike number 1. So it looks like Garnier kind of found his groove a little bit here in the third inning. That pitch is a little bit low. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the third inning. Scott McClung in at bat. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a high pop-up. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough room. I think it's going to hit right above our head. Nope, catches the batting cage behind us. So that'll take the 1 ball and 2 strikes on your cleanup hitter, Scott McClung, playing third base and wearing number 6. Garnier wearing number 9 looks in, gets his sign, and here's the 1-2 delivery. There's that sidearm slider, and that was well outside that time. And that'll take the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, if you're out there tuning in and you want to catch a little bit of the softball game, you can flip right over, and the Greenbrier Valley channel is doing that game as well, and they're playing Greenbrier West also. And Peyton Garnier with the strikeout to retire the side. That'll take us to the bottom of the third. Your score is 2-2. we're back on the Greenbrier Valley Channel here in Linside, home of the Mavericks. Moving to the bottom of the third inning. Your score is 2-2. Up to bat, here's your cleanup hitter, number 3, Caden Hines. First at bat gets a single to left field. And again, it's so crucial to get these leadoff runners on each and every inning. Last meeting at Charmco, Mavericks win 10-0. They're in a little battle right now in the bottom of the third. Your score is 2-2. Hines digs in. Here comes the pitch. Going to be a little bit low and inside. That's going to be ball one. Backed him off the plate a little bit off speed right there. Center fielder playing really shallow. Let's see if Caden can get a hold of one right here. Ridgeway looks in, gets his sign. And here's a 1-0 pitch. Swings under that one. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Ridgeway looks in. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball's a little high and inside. So Hines in favor in the count right here. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-2. Mavericks get 2 in the first. Cavaliers come back and get 2 in the second. Tied up. So we're in the bottom of the third. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Ridgeway. And that's going to be fouled back to the screen on the fastball. That takes account to 2 balls and 2 strikes. They got a batter right here. Got to fight everything off. Be a 2-strike hitter. Hines back in the batter's box. Wearing number 3. Ridgeway looks in to Lester. Gets his sign. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's low and outside. That was close, but it was a little bit low. And that moves the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hines back in the batter's box. Ridgeway gets his sign. And here's the 3-2 delivery. And it's going to be a high pop-up to the shortstop. McClung under it. And he's going to corral it. And that will be out number 1 here in the bottom of the third inning as Caden Lowe, starting at third base today, comes to bat.
Yeah, nowadays I get what I want. Only was spinning up bad. I did it to get in that can. I did it to popping them tan. Money was made for the sad.
Here's the pitch on. That's going to be a strike right down the middle as Caden Lowe behind in the count. No balls and 1 strike. He digs back in the box. Ridgeway looks into Lester, gets his sign. Comes set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's going to be hit to the second baseman. Bobbles a little bit, and he's going to be safe at first base. So could go down as an error, maybe. Could go down his head either way. Bobbled a little bit at second base. Tough hop that time. And Caden Lowe did exactly what it should have done. Hustling, coming straight out of the box on the hit. And he gets on base. As we come up to number 7, playing first base is Justin Feemster. In at bat, Caden Lowe with a big lead at first base. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. Guess it was a little bit high. As Ridgeway scoots a little dirt under his feet on the mound. Checking the runner over at first base. Making Caden Lowe dive head first back in. He is safe. Got 1 ball, no strikes on the hitter, senior Justin Feemster. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low in the dirt. Good pick that time by the catcher. So that takes account to 2 balls and no strikes. Caden Lowe at first base after an infield single. Two to 2. We're in the bottom of the third. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Fouled off by Feemster. It'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Got 1 out. Caden Hines popped out to the shortstop. make the first out. So Caden Lowe gets on the infield single. Feimster back in the box after the foul ball. Pretty good lead right here, and this is a great situation, great count to do a hit and run situation. And Caden Lowe's going to take off. There's the hit, and he did exactly so. The shortstop had to move. Caden Lowe's going to advance to third. That right there is textbook baseball, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Because you do a hit and run, the shortstop went to cover second base, and Justin Feimster hit it exactly where Braden McClung left from. And now we got runners at first and third with one out. Up the bat will be your right fielder wearing number 10, Bryce Neal. Justin Feimster dives back in. Safe. Caden Lowe is at third. Feimster at first. Bryce Neal at bat. Feimster with a big lead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Feimster's going to go down to second base. You got runners now at first, second, and third. And we have one out, so something definitely need to the outfield right here to get these runners in. Fly ball will be fine. Caden Lowe can tag on the fly ball. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low in the dirt. And Neal swings and misses. It'll be 0-2. One out. We're still in the bottom of the third inning. Runners on second and third. Hunter Ridgeway has battled here through 3 innings, done a great job so far, finding the strike zone when he needs to. And here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a little high. It's going to take the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ridgeway comes set. Neal back in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. It's going to be inside. And Caden Lowe didn't get a very good jump right there, and I think if he'd have went, he would have been out at home because he definitely didn't read that because it came off the catcher's glove, and that'll take the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. Bryce Neal up the bat, Caden Lowe at third, Justin Feimster at second. Hunter Ridgeway comes set. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be fouled off by Neal. Kind of tried to sneak that little fastball by him. Good job that time by Bryce fighting that one off. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Ridgeway. And that's going to be strike 3 on the outside corner. And that'll be out number 2. So coming to bat will be number 12, Cameron Crisp. He's your starting left fielder today. Mavericks will be in action tomorrow. And if the rain holds off, be playing Beckley in the Coppinger Tournament Championship. Here's the pitch from Ridgeway. Had a little change I just now noticed as Cole Vandal is in at catcher for the Cavaliers. That first pitch is low and away. It's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. We have 2 outs with 2 on here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low in the dirt, and that bounces away, but not far enough. Not far enough away for Caden Lowe to sneak home on that one, and that takes the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Score is 2-2. Mavericks 2 in the first, Cavaliers 2 in the second. Nobody scored here yet in the third inning. Number 12, Crislip, with a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch, and he's going to ground it back to the pitcher, and that'll be out number 3. As the Mavericks come in and get no runs on 2 hits, and we leave 2 stranded. So after 3, your score is 2-2. And we're back, top of the fourth inning. Cavaliers coming to bat. Nobody scores in that third inning. And your pitcher, Hayden Ridgway, wearing number 8, in at bat. Gardner with the delivery. It's going to be low and inside. It'll be ball 1. Again, Mavericks scored 2 in the first. Cavaliers come in, played a little small ball, 3 consecutive bunts after bases were loaded, and they scored 2 in the second. Nobody in the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be fouled off by Ridgway. That takes the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Gardner looks in, gets his sign from Cooper. And here's the 1-1 pitch. And that looked a little bit low, but called in favor of Gardner, and that takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. That was a little bit lower. That's ball 2. Takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. No out here in the top of the fourth. Your score 2-2. Gardner with a deep breath on this 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be a slow roller, and it's going to jump out of bounds. And that keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes as Ridgway will come back down the line slowly. It's still, I'd love to talk to him after the game and ask him about those gloves. He likes to wear them work gloves because that is something definitely unique. Maybe he's trying to start a trend. Instead of the Bruce Bolt, you get the Carhartts. Carhartt batting gloves. Gardner on the 2-2 pitch. Tries to go up a little higher, and that's a little bit too high. That takes the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So after that first inning, Gardner threw 9 pitches in that first inning. In the third inning, he did extremely well as well. That second inning just got behind in the hitters. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a pop out. Caden Hines, shortstop under it, and he corrals it. That'll be out number 1 here in the fourth inning as they get the lead hitter, Ridgway, to pop out. That'll be out number 1. And coming to bat, that started kind of that little rally last time was Ridgway, and number 18 coming to bat is Chance Hanna, just laying down some bunts and just doing some small ball. Here's the 0-0 pitch, and that's going to be outside. That'll be ball 1. One-0 count. Here's the delivery. That's going to be low. Ball 2 to the 6th place hitter, Chance Hanna. Gardner's got to find a strike on a couple of these. First pitch or second pitch, I've always said you always got to look for that first. One of the pitches in that first 2 pitches got to be a strike. And it's going to be ball 3, so he's going to have to battle back. 3 balls and no strikes. 1 out here in the top of the fourth on a pop out to shortstop Hines from Ridgway. Gardner back to the mound. Hanna in the box, ready for his 3-0 pitch. And that pitch is low and inside. That'll be ball 4. So 1 runner on. We got 1 out in the fourth inning. Coming to bat will be number 28. That's Doss. He'll be batting for Landon McClung. He's in the box. He's got a bright yellow bat and bright yellow batting gloves. Looks like a highlighter yellow. So this is where we got in trouble in that second inning. We just got some runners on, and bunt coverage didn't seem like it was going where we were supposed to go. From a stretch, here's the pitch. It's going to be a little bit low and outside, but we get the call, and that'll be a strike called on Doss. That'll be no balls and 1 strike. We have 1 out here in the top of the fourth. We're still tied 2-2. Gardner comes set. And high leg kick. We get a bunt. They called a foul ball. So that will be a strike. So it'll be no balls and 2 strikes. Score knotted to 2. Gardner ahead in the count. Hannah after the walk on first base. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It catches the inside corner, and that'll be strikeout. Good pitch that time, hitting that inside corner as Doss comes up and strikes out to get the second out of the inning. Number 4 is your batter now. It's Levi Ramsey in the 8-hole. In the box, high leg kick. Gardner high and inside, gets to the backstop. Cooper's not going to throw. Didn't have a chance to throw because the runner really got a late break at time, but that's hard to throw somebody out from the backstop. Now 2 outs. Infielders playing in a little bit, so ground ball, we could have a play at the plate on a base hit. Gardner comes set, gets his sign from Ridgeway. And here's the pitch. That's going to be low in the dirt. That'll take 2 balls and no strikes. On your 8th place hitter, it's Levi Ramsey. He's your center fielder today, wearing number 4. Ridgeway comes set. Gardner comes set. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a fly ball to right field. And Bryce Gardner comes in, slides on his knees, and he's going to get the catch, and that'll be out number 3 for the Mavericks. Good job that time by Bryce Neal, because can't really tell by the camera and anything, but you're looking dead into the sun out there in right field, and he had those glasses on. For out number 3, we're going to move into the bottom of the 4th. And we're ready to begin the bottom of the 4th inning. Up to bat is your 9th place hitter. That's Carson Cohen, your starting second baseman, wearing number 16. Ridgeway comes set. Here's the pitch, and that's a good hit right there to the left fielder. And that's a good start with a Sinai single to left field from number 16, Carson Cohen. Leadoff batter on. We're back to the top of the order for the 3rd time today in the bottom of the 4th. And your center fielder is Hudson Bogus. So Carson was definitely looking first pitch fastball, and he got it right down the middle and turned on it. Good hit, good start to the bottom of the 4th. Hudson Bogus in the box. Here's a pitch, a little high, couldn't get his bat around on it. Hits himself in the head because that would have been ball 1. He knows it. I'm sure his dad's down there telling him the same thing. But, again, you get 2 more, so nothing hurt. Get back in the box, you got another couple. No balls, 1 strike. 2-2, bottom of the 4th. Here's a pitch, runner goes. There's another base hit to left field. Hits in front of the runner. That's ideal, what you want to do on a hit and run. What you like to do on those situations, a lot of times is hit behind the runner. But a hit's a hit, we'll take it. Lead runners, first 2 hitters on. Now you're coming up to the bulky order, your 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up to bat. So 2 on, no outs. Senior catcher, number 11, Cooper Ridgway in a bat. What a career this guy's had, at the high school levels. State runner-up in football, a couple basketball championships, and, baseball he's had an outstanding career here at James River High School, one of the best, through the history that you could argue, maybe, with the awards and stuff that he's had, the amount of championships and tournament appearances he's had throughout his career. What a, just a great, great athlete that we've had blessed with here at James River High School for 4 years. Number 11, Ridgway in a bat. Number 8, Hunter Ridgway on the mound. Got 2 on, no outs, 1 strike on the batter. And here's the pitch, a little low in the dirt, squirts away. Good read that time by the runners. Carson Cohen moves to third. Hudson Balgus moves to second. And we got 1 ball, 1 strike. So something up the middle or something to the outfield needed this time, because most of the time your corners will play in, so there'll be a play at the plate if the ball's hit to the corners. Nobody holding a runner at second, so Hudson can get his lead as big as he wants. Pitch a little high and outside. That takes the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Still no outs. This is the inning. We need to bust it open right here. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 2-2. We get 2 in the first. Greenbrier West with 2 in the second. Nobody scores in the third. And here's the pitch. That one's going to be high and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, to go back, this is definitely a hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike. He's got to come with 2 good pitches right here to Cooper Ridgway. Cooper, second leading hitter on the team, over 400 average on the year. Hunter Ridgway comes set. Here's the 3-1 delivery. That one's high and inside, squirts away. Carson Cohen's coming home, and he's going to slide as Cole Vandal tries to dive and tag him out, and Cooper Ridgway's going to go to second. Here's the throw to second. That ball gets away. Cooper's going to go back, and that's going to allow Hudson Balgus to score from third. And Ridgway hustling down to first on that play. He goes all the way to second, and they throw the ball to second. That's one of them plays right there. You should have just held the ball and kept the runner at third. And we did exactly what we needed to do, and the ball squirts away. So that'll be an error on the catcher, Vandal, on the throw, allowing Hudson Balgus to score. So that gives us a couple runs. That takes the score to 4-2 in favor of the Mavericks. We're still no outs in the bottom of the 4th. As Mark Goddard comes out, I'd say he's probably discussing that very same thing, talking to his guys, just be smart, don't throw the ball around. Errors will kill you. Errors will absolutely kill you. We played Tazewell up at Bowling Field. We had no errors, clean game. We win 7-1. Yesterday, kind of, tough Princeton team. We had 4 errors. We lost 7-1. So it's 2 different days, and that's baseball. It's kind of hard to explain to some high school kids and stuff like that, but that's a game of baseball. And again, Mavericks will be in action tomorrow. They'll be playing Woodrow Wilson in the championship of the Coppinger Tournament. First time in history for James Monroe. They'll be, I think, in the Coppinger Tournament championship. They'll be playing at Bowen Field and Bluefield at 6 o'clock tomorrow. If it gets rained out, they'll move it to Saturday at 12:30. So a couple runs there on a wild pitch. Actually, it wasn't a wild pitch. I think it was just a pass ball, and the catcher just squirted out of his glove. So Peyton Garnier in at bat, squares around the bunt, and takes a pitch down the middle. Pulls back. That'll be strike 1 on the 3-hitter. Wearing number 9, Peyton Garnier. Cooper Ridgway on second base. Still no outs. Here in the 4th inning, here's the pitch. Another pitch down the middle. Peyton Garnier looks it. And he's going to take it. That'll be strike 2. He's down in the count, 0-2. And he was the first at bat, too. He got down 1-2, and he battled back on a 3-2 count and hit a deep fly ball to left center field and got a double, scoring Caden Hines to start that, or actually Ridgway to start the game. He's got to run. Nope. He's going to throw it to first base, and that'll let Cooper Ridgway advance to third base. And if he takes off running, he got mad at himself and slammed the bat down. That makes it 1 out. Ridgeway move over to third on the throw. On those situations, if there was a runner on first base, Peyton Garnier could not run because that base is already occupied. So we got 1 out. Ridgeway moves over to third. Number 3, cleanup hitter, Caden Hines up the bat. You score 4-2. Ridgeway steps off. Hines back in the box. Hunter Ridgeway gets his sign. Cooper at third. Here's the pitch. Ball's inside. Cole Vandal tried to frame that a little bit. That's a little bit too far inside. So that'll take the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Hines 1 for 2 on the day. Popped out to shortstop last time. Here's a 1-0 pitch. And that's down the middle. It's a ground ball to second. To shortstop. McClung's got it. Fires it over to first. And he's out. But he gets a run in. Got the RBI. Yep, put the ball in play. Do what you're supposed to do. And that takes the score to 5-2 in favor of the Mavericks. And 2 outs with nobody on. Caden Lowe comes up the bat. Just like Tom said, Caden Lowe can start it with 2 outs right here. Peyton Gardner's ready to go on the field, and we still got 2 outs. Easy, Peyton. Here's the pitch. Caden Lowe fouls it off. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Here's a ground ball to second base. Got a good hop to throw that one over, and he gets out of the inning. So Mavericks come in, score 3. No Carson Cohen leads it off, gets a single. We get 3 runs to take the Mavericks ahead, 5-2, and we're going to move in to the top of the 5th inning. And we're back to action here on the Greenbrier Valley channel. And we're in the inside home of the James Monroe Mavericks. Mavericks come out with 3 runs in the bottom of that 4th inning. Just a few little errors there on Greenbrier West side. We got a couple hits along the way, but a couple errors, allowing the runners to move over and advance. We're moving on to the top of the 5th. 5-2. Here's the first pitch from Gardner. It's going to be a bunt, and it's going to go foul. Your 9th-place hitter, your DH for today is Dakota Hamrick. He's up the bat. Fouls the first one off. He's down in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Cavaliers had a tough game yesterday in sectional rival playing against Midland Trail. Lost that one 6-4, but it was a good battle. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Gardner. Ball's outside. And takes the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. As the shadows from the press box slowly creeping out on the field. That sun is still on the right side, still beating down on the first baseman and right fielder. Here's a swing and a miss by Hamrick. Pitch was a little bit low. He swings, gets down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gets back in the box. Gardner with a pitch. Squares around the bunt. Because that's a lot what you're not anticipating is seeing bunting on 2 strikes. But, any way you can to get on. They appeal to first base, and he definitely didn't go. He pulled back. That takes you count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. That's going to be fouled away as well. Back behind the backstop. Keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a 2-2 delivery. That's going to be low. That takes count to ball 3. So good job this time by Hamrick of coming back. Was down in the count. He battles back 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gardner back on the mound. Hamrick digging that front foot in. Here's a 3-2 delivery. And it's low, and he's going to get the out on a swing by Hamrick. That'll be out number 1. Here in the top of the 5th inning. We're back to the top of the order. Braden McClung, always a threat. Hard out to get by this guy, left-hander. Throws right-handed, bats left-handed. He's popped out once, grounded out once. Here's the first pitch, low and inside. First pitch of the game, he flies deep to center fielder Hudson Bogus. Last at bat, he grounded out to the pitcher, Peyton Gardner. He's heading to count 1-0. Here's the pitch. Here's a good line drive to right fielder Bryce Neal, and that goes down as a single. So McClung reaches with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Mavericks lead at 5-2. McClung, first time on today. And again, always a threat to run, so now you got a little bit of speed from him on the base pass. Been a great athlete for Greenbrier West over his career. Been a great basketball player and baseball player. In the bat, David Lester. McClung with a good lead. He was leaning a little bit. Looked like he might be taking off on first move. So Peyton gets his high leg kick like he's been doing. It's going to be hard for Cooper. It's going to be hard for Cooper to throw him out because Peyton has that long, slow delivery with that high leg kick. So Lester back in the box. No balls, no strikes. We got 1 out in the top of the 5th. McClung goes. Here's a swing and a miss. Here's a throw. And it's going to go to center field. Throw to third, and he's going to be safe, so he advances 2. Like I say, that's tough for Cooper to throw out right there because that high leg kick, you're talking about 4 or 5 steps McClung gets before the pitch is even thrown. So McClung moves over to third on the steal and in the air thrown to center field. So this is where they got us the last time. They just played a little bit of small ball bunting. Lester back in the box. Peyton will go from the stretch. Comes up. Fake throw to third. Caden Lowe was anticipating him throwing to home. Caden Lowe looking at home, kind of keeping his eye on both. Here's a high pitch. Going to be ball 1. Was the first pitch a strike? Ball 2, so it should be 2-0, yep. Gardner with a pitch. Down the middle. I think it's only his 3rd pitch. I think the first one he threw over to first base and tried to get him out. I think it counts right 2-1. I think it's 2-1. Gardner comes set. McClung over here on third base working. Peyton trying to keep his attention. And you was right. That is strike 3. You was right. It was 2. It was 2-2. So I stand corrected. So that takes us with 2 outs as the third hitter, Cole Vandal, comes to bat. Been a victim of 2 strikeouts here today. Peyton got him last time with 3 consecutive sliders. Here's a pitch, a little bit inside. As Peyton will fall in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. We got 2 outs in the top of the 5th. James Rowe with 3 runs in that bottom of the 4th. They take the 5-2 lead. Brady McClung at third base. He's getting way down the line. You go from windup, man, you can get a big lead off third base. Vandal back in the box. Peyton comes set, gets his sign from Cooper Ridgeway. Here's the pitch. A little high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Vandal ahead in the count. Gardner comes set on the 2-0 delivery. And it's going to be a low pitch. It's going to be fouled back by Vandal. That takes the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. That's Gardner. He's starting to get up in pitch count. He's at pitch number 77 upcoming. You're allowed 110, but that's stretching a little bit in high school, I think, but you're allowed 110. 2 outs, runner on third. Gardner with a 2-1 delivery to Vandal. That's going to be low and inside. Good job by Cooper that time, getting his body in front of it. Keeps from going to the backstop. That takes the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. We got 2 outs. Mavericks lead it 5-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Gardner with trying to just kind of keep McClung close over here because anything to the backstop, he's going to be digging coming home. Gardner comes set. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a fair ball right down the line as Vandal rounds first, and they're going to hold him to a single right there, but he does his job, got the run in from third base. That was right down the line. That was hard for Caden Lowe to get to, and that takes the score to 5-3 with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Vandal gets his lead. Here's a pitch. Swung on a miss. By your cleanup hitter, that's Scott McClung. Playing third base today, wearing number 6. Vandal with his lead. Both of them looking directly into the sun. Him and Justin Feemster are looking right into the sun over there at first base. Here's a pop. Cooper, I don't think he's going to have enough room. Just going to go foul down toward the Votex Center. That takes the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Cole Vandal first. McClung gets on with a single to right field. Advances to second on the steal, and then moves to third on the thrown error, and then he scores on the Vandal hit. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Gardner. And that's going to be a foul ball down the right field line. It's going to go across the fence, and that's going to keep a count at no balls and 2 strikes, and we still got 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Scott McClung back in the batter's box. Here's the 0-2 delivery. It's going to be he dropped down and threw that little slider that he's been throwing, and then fooled McClung because he ducked out of the way and it went right down the middle of the plate, and that'll retire the side. Cavaliers get 1. That takes the score to 5-3 in favor of the Mavericks. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning. And we're back on the Greenbrier Valley Channel, home of the Mavericks. We're in Linside. We're moving to the bottom of the fifth. Mavericks lead at 5-3. Up the bat is your first baseman wearing number 7, Justin Feemster. West got one run back in the top of the fifth on a run, base hit, and a scoring run from Braden McClung. Cole Vandal with the single. Here's the 0 pitch. Justin swung hard enough, his helmet almost come off. He saw a big old balloon ball coming in there. Swing and miss. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's going to be a foul ball right down below us. That takes the count to no balls and 2 strikes. So Hunter Ridgway getting high in the pitch count as well. He will be delivering pitch number 97 upcoming, as this is most likely going to be his last inning here today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be a little bit outside. That takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes again. I'm not sure how deep they are at pitching because this is the only one we've seen in both games for West. I know Braden McClung and Cole Vandal both pitched out yesterday, so they will not be available as they played at Trail. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Here's a slow grounder to third base. It's going to be bobbled. Justin Feemster getting down the line, and he's going to be safe. I think even if he'd have caught it, I think he's still been safe. I think the third baseman bobbled it and the first baseman bobbled it, but I think Justin would have been safe regardless. It was a bang-bang play. So leadoff runner on. Up the bat, be number 10, your right fielder, Bryce Neal. Feemster looks over to Tom, gets a sign. Got a pretty good arm behind the plate, and Cole Vandal, so it's going to be hard to steal on. But if you get the right pitch, you can definitely do it. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Line drive right up the middle. Dove for by McClung. He misses it to the center fielder. They're going to throw it back in, so now you got runners on first and third. So McClung was cheating up the middle just a little bit, and the ball went under his glove. And first 2 runners on as we're back to Cameron Crislip, number 12, playing left field today. Good job running that time by Justin Feemster, moving over, and good job hitting by Bryce Neal. 5-3, we're in the bottom of the fifth. Crislip digs in. Bryce Neal with a big lead, gets his sign from Tom. Here's the pitch. Neal runs. Going to be no throw. So we got runners in scoring position. Crislip in the box. I think that was ball 1. I think it was a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 runners on, no outs. In the bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch. There's a slow grounder to second base. Crislip's going to get the RBI. Good job that time. He did his job. I know he's a little upset, but he did exactly what he had to do. He hit the ball up the middle, got the run in. You do your job. That's what you got to do. So that moves the score to 6-3 in favor of the Mavericks as Bryce Neal will move over to third. Justin Feemster scores, so now we're down to the 9th place hitter, Carson Cohen. Good hit last time at bat. He digs in. He's playing second base today. Wearing number 16, Hunter Ridgway gets a sign. And Cohen's going to back out as Greenbrier West, everybody's playing in, so they're definitely, if a ground ball, they're definitely coming home with it on a ground ball if they corral it. All the infielders are on the grass. Here's the pitch, swing, and a miss by Carson Cohen. That's going to be no balls and 1 strike. Pitch number 103 coming up for Ridgway. 6-3, bottom of the fifth. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Carson swings and misses. Going to be 0-2. Got to put something in play right here. Even if they do make a play at home, it's got to be something. Something's got to be hit. Number 16, Cohen, digs in, checks out. Here's the pitch, 0-2. And he fouls it off back to the backstop. That'll keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Mavericks have a busy week this week. They've played a couple of games. One at last Saturday at Pikeview against Shady, and then they had a couple Coppinger tournaments last couple days, today at West, and then back tomorrow in the Coppinger tournament. Here's the 1-2 pitch, a little high. That takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was pitch number 106, 105. He's got 4 more. Ridgeway looks in, gets his sign from catcher Vandal. And here's the delivery. It's going to be low and outside. That was a good job of laying off of that one. That time by Cohen, he threw a little off speed, tried to get him to chase. Laid off. That takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Carson back in the box. Bryce Neal gets his lead from third. Ridgeway comes set. Here's the delivery. Going to be a little, I guess it might have been a little high. It's hard to tell from here because, like I say, Carson don't have the biggest strike zones, but I'm guessing it might have been just a little higher outside. That takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We got 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. First 2 runners get on. Cameron Crisp drives in the run. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be strike 3 on a curveball. And Carson Cohen gets caught looking. That makes it 2 outs. And we're back to the top of the order as Hudson Bogus comes up for his 4th at-bat of the evening. We're at 6-3. Bryce Neal still third. Like to get Hudson on base right here. He gets on base. We'll probably move him over to second on a steal. And that brings up Ridgeway. But here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and that'll be your inning. 6-3. As we move into the 6th inning, Mavericks get 1 back, and we'll move to the top of the 6th inning. Greenbrier West coming to bat. And we're back to action here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel. A battle going on between the Greenbrier West Cavaliers and the Mavericks. We move to the top of the 6th. The first pitch from Gardner is a ball. Up the bat is the pitcher, Hunter Ridgeway. He gets ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. That's going to be high and inside. That was actually thrown over the top of the head of Ridgeway. And that's 2 balls and no strikes. As Ridgeway will probably be checking out. Pitching next inning, looks like they're warming up the bullpen. David Lester over along their sideline. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be low, and that's going to be ball 3. So Peyton falls behind 3-0. Ridgeway back in. Those unique batting gloves, the Carhartt work gloves. Here's a 3-0 pitch. And that's going to be ball 4 for four straight pitches, 4 balls for Cooper. For Peyton. The leadoff runner is on. Number 18, your 6th place hitter is Chance Hanna. He's your left fielder. Wearing number 18, Gardner comes set. And here's the pitch. Going to be low and outside. It's going to go to the backstop. So 5 consecutive pitches to start this 6th inning is not what Coach Tom Gardner wants out of his son. Peyton Gardner with a 6-3 lead. One 1-0 pitch. Try to pick off a runner, Hunter Ridgeway. Good move that time by Gardner, but good read by Hunter Ridgeway. Gets back. No outs. 1-0 count on number 18, Chance Hanna. Gardner delivers to the plate. Here's going to be a ground ball just barely foul right down in front of us along the third baseline. And that'll take the count to 1 ball and 1 strike with no outs. Mavericks lead at 6-3, and we're in the top of the 6th inning. Gardner comes set. Hanna back in the box. Here's going to be a peel around. Trying to keep him honest at second base, not letting him get too big of a lead. Gardner gets his sign from Cooper. Comes set. Here's a delivery. Strike 2. That's a tough pitch right there to hit as a hitter. If you can keep the ball right there, you're never going to get hit. You're never going to get hurt as a pitcher. That's like right at the shins. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is a big out right here for Gardner to get this first out of the 6th inning. Here's a 1-2 delivery. A little bit inside. Good spot that time. Because you get the hitter looking toward that outside corner if you can pop him under his hands on the inside corner. So Gardner comes set, 2-2 delivery. And that's going to be strike 3. The runner can go. Here's a throw to first. They're going to get him. And on the throw,